They never saw it coming. On the day the humans disappeared, the Galactic Council's chambers echoed with silence, as if the air itself had been sucked away. For centuries, humans had been a noisy, stubborn force in the interstellar community, always debating, always negotiating, always fighting for what they believed was right. To many of the elder races, they were troublesome, a wild variable no one could quite predict. But now, without so much as a warning, they were gone. Ambassador Thalric of the Veil Confederacy was among the first to notice. He strode into the council's grand hall, his tendrils coiled in satisfaction, ready to argue with the infamous human delegate, Isha Malik, over mining rights in the Teller Expanse. The seat assigned to Earth was empty. No diplomats, no aides. Only the ancient Earth flag, draped in silence. He shrugged, assuming some human delay. But as the hours stretched and comms went unanswered, murmurs grew louder. Delegates from every corner of the galaxy began to whisper, "Where are the humans?" The official communique came 12 hours later. A simple message, repeated in every tongue, blinking across every console, every screen, every holopad. The delegation of Earth has departed from all interstellar affairs. No further communication will be provided. This action is final. No demands, no threats, no reasons given. Just a simple, chilling absence. Confusion twisted into arrogance. In the central spires of the mighty Telixian Empire, Emperor Gyrox III received the news with a thin-lipped smile. For years, the humans had been a constant thorn, blocking expansion, championing the rights of weaker worlds. Now Gyrox believed that true rulers could finally act. All across the galaxy, power brokers rejoiced. Human technology, though remarkable, was considered open now. Their colonies and protectorates, without Terran oversight, became fair game. On dozens of worlds, local leaders waited to see who would move first. And in the darkness beyond the stars, humanity watched. Within days of the humans' departure, the galaxy began to shift. The Council's meetings were quieter, agreements passed faster, and centuries-old grudges were quickly revived. Without Earth's stubborn voice of dissent, old empires started to reassert control. Ambassador Thalric watched the changes with a sense of victory. On the floor of the Council, he moved to reclaim mining rights in the Teller Expanse, unopposed for the first time in memory. Delegates who had once sided with the humans, either out of respect or fear, now hedged their bets, aligning with the rising powers. But not everyone felt at ease. In the neutral systems, smaller races who had relied on humanity's protection grew anxious. The Trivens insectoid refugees, whose homeworld was rebuilt by Terran engineers, sent desperate messages, pleading for assurance. No answer came. Human embassies on 100 worlds stood empty, doors locked, lights dark. Meanwhile, the Telixian Empire wasted no time. Their fleets moved into the buffer zones, liberating protectorate worlds. On the colony of New Lagos, Telixian warships landed, their soldiers rounding up planetary officials. Governor Marta Lopez, once a trusted ally of Earth, watched as her world was subjugated. The local population, confused and leaderless, offered little resistance. She sent a single message to the stars: "Earth, if you're out there, we need you." Silence. But beneath the surface, all was not as it seemed. Human technology, now supposedly open for plunder, proved stubbornly opaque. Attempts to hack old Terran systems led to cascading failures. Reverse-engineered starships shut down mid-flight. Even the most advanced AI refused new masters, their core code locked by an unfathomable algorithm. Still, the conquerors pressed on, confident that human secrets would eventually yield. The Council congratulated itself. The galaxy, they believed, was theirs again. No one noticed the pattern. Not yet. The pattern of how easily things were coming apart. Weeks passed, and the initial euphoria gave way to growing frustration. The Talixians' grip on New Lagos tightened, but every effort to seize the human-built power grid ended in blackouts. Medical nanites, once the pride of Terran medicine, now caused strange system errors when scanned by Talixian tech. Other empires, too, found themselves unable to integrate human systems no matter how many engineers they threw at the problem. On Council worlds, rumors began to swirl. A cargo fleet that had once relied on Terran jump beacons was lost in a navigation loop, forever circling a dying star. On the mining colony of Aurora's Reach, the life support systems designed and installed by Earth's finest shut down. The moment a non-human administrator took control, but pride blinded the galactic leaders. They sent ever larger fleets to occupy former human protectorates. A race to fill the power vacuum began. On the council floor, Thalric noticed growing complaints from smaller delegations. Food shortages, communication blackouts, unexplained system failures. Each time, the big powers insisted they could fix it. Just give them more time, more resources, more authority. Meanwhile, in the slums of Seraphis Prime, a child found an abandoned human aid terminal. It glowed briefly when touched, displaying a single message in Terran script. Help is coming. Be ready. Elsewhere, encrypted signals flickered in the void, encoded so deeply only the most advanced AI could notice. For the first time in decades, Terran frequencies reappeared silent, pulsing in the dark, ignored by those who thought they had already won. Behind the curtain of chaos, someone was watching. Someone who had planned for exactly this moment. The unraveling accelerated. Council meetings now devolved into shouting matches as infrastructure collapsed. On New Lagos, the Talixian garrison faced riots. Power was out for days. Hospitals crippled. Food supplies contaminated by systems no one could control. Other empires faced sabotage and resistance on every former human protectorate. From sabotaged hyperlanes to planetary climate regulators going haywire, desperation grew. The empires responded with violence. The Talixians declared martial law on New Lagos, but their weapons malfunctioned whenever used against civilians. The Veil Confederacy attempted to seize a human-built orbital platform, only to watch the station's automated defenses activate, firing upon any non-human vessel in range. Thalric, now promoted for his role in Earth's downfall, began to worry. Every diplomatic channel filled with complaints. The smaller races grew restless. Quietly, some council members questioned whether Earth's absence was truly a victory. On a secret channel, a group of governors and rebels met via secure hologram. Marta Lopez, still under house arrest, spoke first. We all relied on the Terrans. We all thought their stubbornness was a weakness. But look around us, the galaxy is coming apart. A Trivan chancellor, antennae trembling, asked, why did they leave? No one had an answer. On the dark side of Seraphis Prime, a Terran ship decloaked for the first time in months. Its captain, Leon Grant, reviewed his orders, a simple message from Earth's lost council. Wait, watch, only return when they understand. For now, they remained silent, letting the galaxy feel the absence of what it once took for granted. And still, Terran signals pulsed quietly across the void, waiting, watching. Ready, Doc? It was in the 5th month that the galaxy broke. Food riots spread across a dozen council worlds. Starvation claimed thousands on planets once supplied by Terran logistics networks. Epidemics ran wild as Medical A has locked out alien doctors, their fail-safes coded to respond only to human credentials. On New Lagos, Marta Lopez joined the growing resistance. The old Earth-trained militia resurfaced, using encrypted codes no Talixian could crack. Around the galaxy, similar groups emerged, all with the same secret. Caches of Terran technology, untouched, waiting for a signal. The council called an emergency session. Arguments flared into open threats. The empires blamed each other, but no one could hide the truth. The galaxy was spiraling into chaos. For the first time, some dared to whisper the unthinkable. Had humanity known this would happen? Had they planned it all along? On the edges of the council's reach, the Trivens found an old Terran ambassadorial ship, lights glowing with dormant power. When activated, it played a message from Earth's former diplomat, Isha Malek. You believed you controlled us. You believed the galaxy would be better without us. Now, you see the cost of your arrogance. Only when you choose to stand together, to protect rather than conquer, will we return. The message spread like wildfire. On every world, populations demanded change. Even among the empires, doubt crept in the shadows. Terran fleets waited. Humanity had left, but not abandoned. Their silence was a lesson. Their absence, a warning. Desperation forced the council's hand out at a secret summit. Delegates from the crumbling empires and desperate minor worlds met to discuss the Terran question. Without the humans, the galaxy's great systems commerce, defense, medicine were simply failing. Each world, once connected by Earth's stubborn will to cooperate, now struggled alone. The Trivan Chancellor, representing dozens of frightened worlds, stood and addressed the hall. We believed the old powers would save us. They have only made things worse. We must send a message to Earth beg for their return. The proposal was met with rage from some, shame from others. Yet as starved refugees and sick children filled the screens, no one could deny the truth. The council voted. An official plea would be sent. A single desperate transmission echoed across the galaxy. To the humans, we were wrong. Without you, the galaxy is lost. Please, come back. In the silence that followed, every world held its breath. Days passed. Then, as if answering a cosmic summons, Terran beacons activated. Ancient human satellites blinked awake. Abandoned embassies powered up, flooding with light. Across every channel, the same message repeated. We hear you. On New Lagos, the resistance leader received a corner. Coded signal one only a human would recognize. Moments later, the orbit above the planet shimmered as Terran ships appeared, flanked by humanitarian drones and medical shuttles. Dot throughout the galaxy, Terran vessels emerged from hiding. The sight brought tears, cheers, and on some worlds, bitter regret. The humans returned not with armies, not with threats, but with help. Terran engineers restored power grids and medical networks. Human diplomats reopened the embassies, this time inviting all races, not just empires, to the table. Former conquerors were offered amnesty if they chose cooperation over oppression. On New Lagos, Marta Lopez met Captain Leon Grant on the landing field. She spoke for her world, but her words echoed the feeling of millions. Why did you leave us? Grant looked around, seeing hope where there had been only fear. Sometimes, people need to lose what matters before they realize its value. We never wanted to control anyone. We just wanted to help. But help isn't the same as control. Word spread humanity had left, not in defeat, but to prove a point. Their silence had been more powerful than any threat. The Talaxian Empire and the Veil Confederacy, humbled, agreed to Terran terms. Protectorates regained autonomy. The Council was reformed, this time on the principles the humans had always argued for: equality, cooperation, and compassion. And as the stars wheeled overhead, every world remembered the lesson. Control by fear, by force, was an illusion. True, strength came from unity, from helping those in need. Humanity, without saying a word, had changed the galaxy forever.